Hi, everyone. I'm going to give everybody a few more minutes to log on and then we will get started. Hopefully you all can see me okay. If you can take this opportunity right now to grab a pen and a piece of paper, you'll definitely need it. I'm going to give you a bunch of pointers so that way you can take some notes and use them on your health journey. So I'll give you all a few more minutes. Okay, I see someone is logging on. I'm just waiting a few more minutes to everybody logs on. So if you want to grab a piece of paper and a pen right now, that would be great. That way you can take notes when I get started. We'll give everybody a few more minutes to get on. Everybody sent me some really good questions, so I'm excited to answer all of the questions that were sent to me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. It looks like some people are on and then they're off. I'm not sure if you all are losing reception, but I can kind of see when you're on and then if your screen goes off. But I'm going to go ahead and get started because it's 4 minutes past 5:30 and I don't want you all on here all night. So my name is LaShawna Nicole, for those who don't know. I'm the founder of a health, inspiration, fitness, and beauty brand called Be a Health Nut 2, which all started with me deciding to change my health and take better care of my body, not knowing that it was going to turn into this health brand. But I'm so thankful that it did. So I'll give you a little bit of background about myself, kind of how I decided to start eating healthy. It was definitely not by choice. I used to eat really bad. I used to eat fast food literally every single day. I did not know how to cook. I came from a fast food, soul food background. So eating healthy to me was actually very foreign. But I started to experience some health issues and I felt in my heart that it was time for me to take better care of my body and stop feeding my body junk. So it actually took years for me to get to where I am today, which is about 80% raw. So a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you eat so healthy. And that did not happen overnight. So that's one of the things I definitely want to encourage you all, that when you decide to change your eating habits, just know that is not going to happen overnight. Your body is going to crave the foods that you once fed it. I slipped so many times. Like I would go raw and then I would slip. Before I went vegan, I was vegetarian. Like it took me a minute to transition into each phase of eating healthy. I started off as a meat eater, and then I started going into pescatarian, where I said, okay, I'm just going to eat fish, and I'm still going to eat cheese and dairy and all that junk. So my digestive system was horrible. That was one of the first things that made me decide to change my eating habits. Just to let you know, if you're not having a bowel movement, I would say at least 2 times a day, you need to change your diet. You should have a bowel movement every time after you have a meal. But if you go like 3, 4, 5 days without having a bowel movement, that is horrible. Having a bowel movement is your body's way of releasing toxins. So if you're not having bowel movements, all those toxins are actually backed up inside of you. So that was one issue. My digestive system was really, really bad. But the biggest thing that happened to me was my menstrual cycles were all over the place. I was so not balanced. I would spot in between the months. It was so bad. I had cysts on my ovaries, and I used to consume a lot of dairy products. And so if you're a woman and you're watching this broadcast and you eat a lot of cheese, you drink a lot of milk, you eat a lot of yogurt, that stuff is horrible for the reproductive system. Now, at the time, I didn't know, but I decided that, okay, I'm going to just transition slowly into eating healthy. Now, the healthier I became, the better my body started to react. The more you eat raw foods, your body will take those foods and just do what it's supposed to do naturally. So now that I'm about 80% raw, I have no issues with my digestive system. My menstrual cycles come on time. They're completely balanced. So when I say eating healthy works, I'm not just saying eating healthy works because I read a book or I looked online. Like I know that eating healthy literally changes the body because that's what it did for me. So, again, pescatarian is going to be if you want to eat fish and you can still consume cheese, dairy, all that stuff. Then I went to vegetarian where I didn't do any meat, but I still was going to consume cheese, dairy, because I had a cheese addiction. Cheese was the hardest thing for me to give up. I don't know what it was in the cheese, but it was delicious to me. And so I would sneak and have a piece of cheese pizza when I first got on my journey. And about 3 years ago, I transitioned to vegan, which was definitely the best. So I didn't do any animal products at all. I still will eat cooked foods though. And right when I started Be a Health Nut too, I started transitioning into consuming as many fresh fruits and vegetables as possible. And that by far has been the best as far as getting my health back on track. So now, why are raw foods beneficial? Pretty much when you consume raw foods, they contain digestive enzymes. We need digestive enzymes. It helps to break down your food. It helps to break down carbs, fats, proteins. And so enzymes are crucial. When you cook your food, you're killing the natural enzymes. You're literally killing and destroying the nutrition. So that's why raw foods are so very important, because when you eat raw foods, there is no stress being put on your body. Your body can literally just digest those foods and use the minerals, use the nutrients. And that's why your digestive system will work better. Your skin will begin to heal itself. Most times when you're experiencing, let's just say, some type of like acne breakout or rashes somewhere, is because the blood is toxic. Your blood becomes toxic because most Americans are eating the SAD diet, the standard American diet, which is a ton of animal products, meat, cheese, refined grains. All that stuff is extremely acidic to your system. And so your body is going to scream for help. It's going to show you on the outer surface. And I used to have terrible, jacked up skin, and I didn't understand why. It was super frustrating. Like I would get pimples everywhere. I had acne. I had acne all over my face. And a lot of it was because I was eating junk food all the time. I was eating oily foods. I was eating foods that did not contain any nutrition at all. So raw foods, you will feel the difference. I have so much more energy. Well, I'm on 10 anyway, but I think because I eat so healthy now, I really have a lot of energy because of that. So eating raw foods is going to go into your body, and you're going to be able to feel the difference. It literally revives your system. So alkaline versus acidic. A lot of people ask about what's the difference between alkaline and acidic foods. So when you're thinking about eating alkaline foods, that's going to be your greens, your fruits, your vegetables. Those foods contain chlorophyll, especially dark green leafy vegetables. They're so important to eat because chlorophyll is pretty much the blood of a plant. So when you eat chlorophyll filled foods, it's going to go into your body and it's going to naturally cleanse and filter your blood. And that's what you want, because disease, illnesses, parasites, all that stuff, it lives inside of an acidic body. Now, not all acidity is bad. Your saliva would naturally be alkaline. Your urine would naturally be acidic. The vagina should be slightly acidic because it helps to kill natural unhealthy bacteria. So don't think that all acidity is bad. But if you're consuming a ton of cooked foods, you're overloading your body with acidity. So what I say is, let's say that you have a health condition, some type of disease that you're trying to get rid of, I would say you should consume 80% raw foods and 20% acidic foods. Now, when I say acidic foods, I do not mean meat. Acidic foods means like brown rice, lentils, grains, potatoes, things of that nature. Alkaline foods are going to be living foods. So your kale, your broccoli, your spinach, your apples, your bananas. So you want to eat 80% raw and 20% acidic if you're trying to get rid of some form of a health condition. So now, how to get started becoming a vegan or a raw foodist? First and foremost, you just have to make up your mind that you want to make a lifestyle change. I decided that I didn't want to make it a law, because I feel like when you make a law, it becomes not fun. And I wanted transition into eating healthy to be fun for me. So I didn't make it a law. I just took my time. Now, at first I did try to go cold turkey, and it was a disaster, because you can't just think like, okay, I used to eat meat. I used to eat potatoes, and now I'm just going to eat raw. Your body is going to scream for help. Like it's like, give me what I'm used to. So I slowly decided to transition myself into eating raw. So make a decision that you're going to change your eating habits. And then this can be, let's just say I'm going to eat meat 2 times a week. And the rest of the week, I'm going to eat alkaline foods. I'm going to flood my body with fresh juices. I'm going to flood my body with fresh salads, but I'm still going to eat meat 2 times a week. That could be a start. Or you can say, I'm only going to eat meat once a month. And the rest of the month, I'm going to eat some cooked foods, but mainly raw. That could also be a start. Another thing that helped me big time was getting and surrounding myself around people who thought like I think, like they wanted to become vegans. They wanted to eat healthier. That's super important, because you're going to have some times where you want to slip, and you're going to need somebody to encourage you to keep going. Don't fall back into your old eating habits. I found people on social media. So Instagram was a great way, Twitter, Facebook, and then also going to like vegan events. And that's also a great way to find inspiration. It's a great way to find out like what vegan restaurants are around you. That's a good thing too. Find out where the vegan raw food restaurants are, because I don't feel like cooking all the time. I'm always in my kitchen. And so sometimes I want to take a break from the kitchen, and I'll just go to a raw food restaurant. That way I'm sticking to my diet, but I'm not cooking all the time. Because sometimes, somebody don't want to be in the kitchen. So find your raw food vegan restaurants. You will eat what you store. So it's very important that when you go to the grocery store that you buy good foods, because that way if you start to have a craving, you're not like, okay, I have a bag of frozen French fries in there and I have a pack of chicken and I'm going to eat that chicken. No, instead you can be like, okay, I already have some pre-made salads in there. I have some apples. I have some strawberries. If you have good food, that's all you'll eat. So it's very important that you store and pack good foods and don't give in to those temptations. Now, like I said, when I first started, I did slip a few times. I gave into some temptations, but it took me a little bit of time to transition into, now I don't really have temptations. But when I did, I just literally would be like, no, you're not eating that. You're going to eat this. And now literally my body craves what I feed it most. So you will train your taste buds to eat what you feed it most. So it just takes time. Go at your own pace. Don't compare your journey to somebody else's. Like, I'm 80% raw. Some people think I'm crazy that I eat so many fresh fruits and vegetables, but that's just what works for my body. So if you don't feel like going raw works for you, but more so just vegan will work for you, then do that. I would say definitely listen to your own body and go at your own pace. Don't feel like you have to be on some race with somebody else or you have to compete with another vegan. Do you and listen to your body. That was a big thing for me. I had to listen to what I felt like my body was telling me to do. And then I would pay attention. When I'm eating a bunch of fresh fruits and vegetables, how does my body respond? When I'm eating cooked foods, how does my body respond? And what's funny is even now, even though I'm vegan and I'll eat some cooked foods, my digestive system instantly, it acts differently than when I'm eating raw foods. So listening to your body is very, very important. And just remember that it's a journey, it's a transition, and don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to where it becomes not fun. Some equipment that's going to be absolutely needed if you decide to become a raw foodist definitely would be a high-speed blender, which I'm going to use today to make the raw soup. I love the Vitamix. I think it works amazing. You can make raw soups, you can make raw puddings, you can make raw cheesecake, you can make some of raw everything because it spins so fast, it literally turns food into liquid. So a Vitamix, I know a lot of people think it is a bit expensive. It is so worth the investment because I literally use mine every day. So another brand is Blendtec. I heard that that blender is also really good, but I don't think it compares to the Vitamix. I've seen it used. I've never used it before, but you can also look into a Blendtec. You can get a Vitamix off of QVC if you don't want to spend that amount up front, and you can just do a payment plan. So that's a great, great investment. Another investment I would say that you should, another piece of equipment I would say that you should invest in would be a juicer. So I'm going to give you a few different juicer brands, starting from a good juicer to the very best juicer on the market, which is what I'm working on investing in. So a really good juicer brand is Breville juicer. It's about $125. You can get it on Amazon. It's a centrifugal juicer, so it does heat the juice a little bit while making the juice, so it oxidizes the juice. So you will lose a little bit of nutrients, but it's not that big of a deal. That is called a Breville, Breville juicer, and you can find that on Amazon. The next one from that I would say is the Omega brand. Those are around $300. You can also get that on Amazon. That's a juicer that's very good with juicing greens. So it's going to help you to get the most out of juicing like kale, wheatgrass, and that's OMEGA. I know I speak a little fast sometimes, y'all, so I'm going to try to spell things out just in case I'm going fast. The next juicer that's really good would be an Angel Press. ANGEL Press, PRESS, and that juicer is around $700, but it works amazing. It's going to be one of the best juicers that you can find on the market. It gives you a lot of juice per, like, I watched it on YouTube. You can do a comparison between an Angel juicer and a Norwalk, and you'll be able to see how much juice you get out of an Angel Press. But the best juicer on the market, which is definitely what I plan to get, is the Norwalk. It is around $2,500, but it is seriously by far the best tasting juice I have ever seen. It's super clear. It doesn't have any foam, and it actually presses the juice. So it doesn't heat the juice, which causes oxidation. It literally puts tons of pressure on your produce, and you're going to get the most pure, potent, nutritious juice that you could ever even think of. It's cancer patients that have drank 13 juices a day from the Norwalk, and they've been healed from cancer. So you can look it up and do research on it. So I'm definitely going to invest in one soon because I want to bottle fresh juice and be able to ship it to your front door. And I want to make sure that I'm offering the very best quality juice. So the Norwalk is the bomb. I'm definitely going to get that. So a question that I get a lot is budgeting tips, how to eat healthy on a budget. And when I first started out eating healthy, I used to think too, I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to do this. Like, I'm just starting working. Like, how am I going to eat healthy? It's so expensive. And honestly, I have learned that it's not as expensive as people think. If you eat at a fast food restaurant 2 times a day at $8 a day, that's $16. You can get a bunch of raw food for $16. I find kale on sale for like 88 cents. I find mangoes on sale for 98 cents. I find a bag of apples on sale for $2.90. So if when there's a will, there's a way. And that is very, very true. But when I first got started, I stopped getting my nails done. And some people were like, really? But that's $35 that I can use on raw foods. And that's how important me being healthy was to me. Like, I didn't like that my body wasn't functioning properly. So I was willing to stop getting my nails done to invest that money into eating healthy. I'm like, my hands work. I can paint my fingernails myself. And so I would take that $35 and I would invest it in eating healthy. One of the best things that I've done that has helped me save a ton is I called around to the stores. My top favorite stores are Sprouts, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and then farmers markets. So I called around to those stores. I found out what day that they have like double down sales. And so what that is you'll get like 2 packs of strawberries, organic strawberries, for the price that you would normally pay for one. And so I literally, yes, I go to the store like 3 to 4 times a week, and I go to 3 to 4 different stores, but it's so worth it because I save so much money. I also compare pricing. So sometimes Whole Foods may have something $2 more than Sprouts. So no, I'm going to buy it from Sprouts, or I'm going to buy it from Trader Joe's. I'm going to buy it from where I can get the best price. Vitacost.com is amazing. I shop there all the time because you can find so many products that you would get from Whole Foods for less. It is Vitacost.com. I mean, I get so much stuff off that website. So shopping online is amazing as well. With the grocery guide that I'm going to send out to all of you, I have a list of online stores that I like to shop. So that should help you along the way. Making your own is also a big way to save money. So if you can make your own salsa, if you can make your own almond milk, if you can make your own, you'll save like a couple dollars because literally you'll pay for the labor on those products. Also, like buy a pineapple and chop it up. Buy a pomegranate and chop it up. If you buy it and you chop it up, you'll save like $2, literally, because you pay for the labor for the person that chopped it up for you. So yeah, it does take a little more time to bring it home, chop it up. But I mean, I save money wherever I can. Another thing, if you can grow a garden, I can't wait till I can grow a garden. That's a big way to save money if that's possible. I would grow my own, buy my own, and chop it up. That's a great way to save money. So make sure that you're shopping around, shop online, and then find out the days that your stores have deals. And something else that I learned is if you go to the farmer's market towards the end of the day, like when they're going to close, you can literally convince the farmers to give you produce for less because they want to get rid of it instead of having to take it home and then it possibly going to waste. So that's a big way to save money as well. So something that I've learned, or a question that I get a lot is protein. If I become a vegan, where am I going to get my protein? People feel like if they become a vegan, they're literally going to like wither away and not have any protein source. There's actually a bunch of amazing vegan protein sources. And I've actually gained weight since I've become a vegan. I used to be like 102 pounds. I was so tiny. But since I've become a vegan, I'm like 117 now. I know it's still not a lot, but it's a lot to me because I used to be so little. And so I'm going to show you guys a few of the protein sources that I take, and then I'll tell you some others. But spirulina, I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully you all can see this. It's 70% plant-based protein. I get mine from dhealthstore.com. This is also an amazing source of iodine, rich in calcium. So this is not only protein, but it's also like a vitamin that I take. Another source of protein that I take is moringa leaf. Hopefully you guys can see this. I love moringa leaf. This is actually like a multivitamin and 60% plant-based protein. So if you know somebody that's malnourished, I get it from dhealthstore.com. But if you know somebody that is malnourished, I would have them get moringa leaf. It's filled with vitamin A, K, D, C. I mean, it is filled with chlorophyll, so it's going to help to filter and cleanse your blood, which of course you want. We want to always cleanse our blood because that helps to keep illness and parasites and all that nasty stuff away. Baobab fruit is another vitamin plant-based protein source that I take. It has all 14 amino acids. Hopefully you all can see this. It also has like 6 times more vitamin C than oranges. It has more potassium than bananas. Like baobab fruit is amazing. So this is also another vitamin that I take. I think someone asked me that on one of the questions, but I'll go over the questions in a little bit. Blue green algae is amazing for protein. Hemp seeds. I posted this on social media the other day, and a lot of people were like, "What in the world are hemp hearts? What is that?" So hemp hearts are pretty much the brand. It's hemp seeds though. So hopefully you all can see this. I got this off of Vitacost.com. 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds equals 11 grams of protein. So I actually mix hemp seeds inside of my smoothies, and it's an amazing way for me to get protein. Another protein source that I have a bunch of them. So that way you all know that you literally can get your protein when you're a vegan. This is hemp protein. It's a powder. Hemp protein powder. You can see I got it from Vitacost.com. And this is also, I just mix it in a smoothie, and that's a great way for me to get protein. Also, if you like beans, lentils, beans, those are both amazing protein sources. I love pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. I snack on those throughout the day. I love the brand Go Raw, which is GORAW. I get that from Vitacost.com. So that's another amazing source of protein. Spinach, kale, you can get protein from those. Chlorella, you can also get it from dhealthstore.com. I'm out of it right now, but it's 60% plant-based protein. So you'll definitely get your protein. Don't be freaked out about becoming a vegan. You're not going to lose weight and wither away. I was also nervous because I was like 102 pounds. I'm like, no, I'm going to be non-existent. but so it's awesome to see that like I've gained weight just from simply literally taking plant-based protein sources. And I'm not big on working out or anything, but I've definitely gained weight, and I'm thankful. I like it. So another question that I get all the time is organic versus non-organic. Can I eat non-organic foods? So for me, I love to go organic. Now, of course, I'm going off good faith. I don't see the farmers pick the berries and stuff off the tree, so I can't guarantee that it's organic, but I would say if you can shop organic, shop organic. My rule of thumb is if you can't shop organic, anything that you're going to actually eat, like the skin of it. So strawberries, blueberries, grapes, anything like that, where you're actually eating the skin, get that organic. If you can pull the skin off, so bananas, mangoes, avocados, you pulling the skin off, so if they sprayed something on it, you're not really consuming it, but I would stick to organic as much as possible. I'm going to give you all a list of some foods that's on a genetically modified list that you absolutely should buy organic. Genetically modified is pretty much some scientists taking organisms and creating a food, which is insane. I don't want to eat a created food that was made in a lab, but that's what they're doing. And so that's why you're seeing a ton of seedless watermelons, seedless grapes. Like, no, the food should have seeds in it. And because it doesn't, it's because they're making it. So those are 2 of the foods that you want to definitely try to get organic, and make sure that you eat those seeded, not seedless. It should have seeds in it. Tomatoes are on the list of the GMO list. Squash, zucchini, buy those organic. Canola oil is on that list. Milk, dairy products in general, I would just stay away from them. But if you are going to consume dairy products, go with the organic. Sugar beets are on there. So people say if you read the labels, like if it starts with a 9, that means organic. I don't know how true that is, but I have read the labels just to see. And so the 9, if it starts with a 9 with 5 digits after it, it says it's organic. If it starts with an 8, it's supposedly maybe a genetically modified food. And if it starts with a 4, it was potentially sprayed with chemicals and pesticides. So that's why I said if you can stick to organic, that's the best way to go. Something that was crucial when I started, because again, as I told you, I had no idea where to start. I started investing in knowledge. So I stalked Google. I really wanted to learn how to eat healthy. So I'm going to give you all a few books that I purchased that were beneficial in the beginning of my journey. So the first book is The Raw Food Lifestyle by Ruthann Russo. Again, that is The Raw Food Lifestyle by Ruthann Russo. It's a really good book. She goes into the history of raw foods, the people who created the raw food movement. And she just tells you, like, if you're eating raw foods, they shouldn't be cooked over 118 degrees. Oh my gosh, I forgot a piece of equipment that's super important. It's going to be a dehydrator. I can't believe I didn't say that. And that's part of not cooking your food over 118 degrees, because once you cook a food over 118 degrees, it's going to destroy the enzymes. So a dehydrator, what it does, because a lot of people say, I don't want to be a raw foodist. I don't like eating cold food all the time. So what a dehydrator does is going to warm the food, is going to pull out the moisture, but still give you the feeling of like a cooked food, but it's not really cooked. So you can make kale chips. I make kale chips on my dehydrator all the time, but there is still living, but it just feels dried, it's warm. I literally dry out tomatoes. You can make banana chips, apple chips. I love my dehydrator. I use the brand Dehydro. I think it was around $18 or something on Amazon. No, that wasn't the Dehydro. The Dehydro, that was my spiralizer, which that's another piece of equipment. It's not necessary, but you can get a spiralizer. It's called the Perderno. That's what was $14, and that's going to turn like zucchini or cucumbers into raw noodles. And so if you are like a big spaghetti fan, I would definitely get a Perderno, a spiralizer. But the dehydrator, back to that, is going to keep your food under 118 degrees, but still give you the texture of a cooked food. So that's something I would absolutely invest in. And one other piece of equipment that I did not mention is a food processor. You can find one at literally Walmart for $35. But the food processor literally chops up vegetables. You can make raw puddings. You can make raw sorbets. So I use my food processor all the time as well. Those are all very good pieces of equipment. Back to the books. So I got off topic for a minute there. Another great book is Alkalize or Die by Theodore A. Barodi. That's Alkalize or Die. So he talks about the importance of putting your body in an alkaline state. Another way that you can put your body in an alkaline state is going to be by drinking alkaline water. Kangen water is really, really good quality water. If you can find a Kangen place in your area that actually will give you a couple bottles of Kangen water, I would absolutely recommend it. It's some amazing water. Another great book is The Live Food Factor by Suzanne Schneck. I'll spell her last name as Suzanne and then Schencke. Suzanne Schneck. Another great book was The Beauty Detox by Kimberly Snyder. That book was actually really beneficial for me because it taught me about the importance of food pairing. So what that is say if you're still going to eat meat, hopefully you won't. No, I'm just kidding. But if you decide that you still want to eat meat, what you would do is you would make a fresh juice in the morning. Then you would make a smoothie. Then you would make some fresh fruit. Then you will make a fresh salad. Then you will eat some rice. Then you would eat a steak. So the purpose is that you're putting the light food in first and then the heavy food so that your body is constantly breaking that food down. So I'm going to give you all a bunch of substitutes instead of taking we're going to do sugars and then we're going to do some salts that I found that were really good substitutes for me so far. Instead of doing white sugar or Sweet and Low or NutraSweet or aspartame. All of those are filled with chemicals. They're not good for you at all. A great sugar, darn it, I should have grabbed it out of my refrigerator, but raw agave nectar is really good. It actually tastes sweet. It has a great taste to it. I get mine from Vitacost.com. Again, that is raw agave nectar. And it doesn't spike your blood sugar. So that's a really good thing as well. Another one is a coconut palm sugar. I do have that one with me. If you can see, hopefully you all can see. But I get it from thehealthstore.com. It's kind of like brown sugar, but it's not as sweet at all. So it doesn't have a super duper sweet taste, but I actually like it. It's one of my favorite sugars now, and it tastes really good to me, but it's not going to be as sweet as like a brown sugar. So that's coconut palm sugar. Another one is a maple syrup, organic maple syrup, grade B. You want to try to get grade B. The darker, the better. I get mine from Trader Joe's for $7.99. I think on Vitacost last night I was just shopping and it was $16.99 on there. So I told you all I shop around so I can make sure I'm getting the very best pricing. So that's, I think so far the best pricing I've found on organic maple syrup. So I would go to Trader Joe's. Another good sweetener is stevia. Now, just to let you know, stevia is not that sweet, but it has great alkalizing properties. So not only are you sweetening up whatever you're going to put it on, but you're also getting the benefits of alkalizing the body, which is super important. So some different salts instead of like Morton's table salt, which is bleached. It's horrible for your body. My absolute favorite salt is Himalayan pink sea salt, which is here. Hopefully y'all can see. But this salt has over 80 minerals. It helps with like muscle cramping. It helps with digestion. It helps with sleeping. I know people say eating salt is actually bad for you, but not this one. This is actually a really good salt. That 80 minerals is amazing for you. You could also do bath soaks with this. Pour some of this in a bath when you're going to take a bath. Put some essential oils in there, and it helps to draw toxins out of the body. So it actually helps to cleanse the skin as well. It's really, really good. Another good salt is Black Hawaiian sea salt. I get that from dhealthstore.com as well. I don't have any on me right now. And then another pretty decent salt is Celtic salt, but my most favorite is definitely the Himalayan pink sea salt. Some great oils, cooking oils, especially if you're going to heat an oil, you want to make sure that it doesn't turn rancid when you're cooking it. So a great oil that's not going to turn rancid when you're cooking it is coconut oil. Now, just to warn you, coconut oil does have flavor to it. So if you cook it on something, it may change the flavor of it. But if you just take a tablespoon of coconut oil, it is amazing for the body. It's antifungal, it's antibacterial. You can literally rub it on herpes and it helps to heal that. You can rub coconut oil on any kind of infection because it's antibacterial. So I know people get cold sores, just rub some coconut oil on it and see if it helps it to disappear because it naturally fights off viruses. It has lauric acid in it, so it naturally will build and boost your immune system. So I would say take a tablespoon a week just to make sure that you're constantly putting something in your body that's helping to boost your immune system. Unrefined red palm oil is high in vitamin A, it's high in vitamin E, so it's going to be very, very good for your skin. Now, I personally don't like the taste of that oil, but a lot of people do. So you have to just try it and see if you like it. But red palm oil is a really good oil. My favorite oil besides coconut oil is extra virgin olive oil. I actually just purchased the new brand. I haven't used this one before, but you want it to be extra virgin cold pressed olive oil. And when you heat this oil, it doesn't turn rancid. So it's okay to actually cook with it. Another good oil is sweet almond oil. That's also a really good oil to use when cooking or heating an oil. So some different grains and breads that you can consume instead of like wheat, or a lot of people have gluten allergies. These are going to be easier for you to digest. And what I'm going to name off, you can literally find it in cereal. You can find it in pasta. You can find it in bread. So rye is a really good alternative, which is R-Y-E. Rye. I'm going to give you a second to write it down. Quinoa, which I'm sure a lot of you probably heard of quinoa, but you can also find that in like pasta form. It's Quinoa. A lot of people are like, how do you pronounce that? When I first seen quinoa, I was like, what? How do you pronounce that? Another good brand is Amaranth, Amaranth. You can find that in cereal, pasta, bread, and it's going to be much easier for your body to digest. Kamut, which is Kamut. The last one that I like a lot, I usually use this one a lot for pasta, is spelt pasta, which is S-P-E-L-T, spelt pasta. So those are the 5 that I would use as a substitute for like grains or white bread. White bread is bleached. It has no nutrition at all. I would use those breads instead. So some cheese, because I was a big cheese fan. And so I still don't really like vegan cheese, but these 2 are the ones that I found that are, I would say, most similar to regular cheese. Will be Daiya, which is D-A-I-Y-A, and then Go Veggie. Those are the 2 that gives you a very similar cheese texture. But I have a raw cheese recipe on my website. But actually, that's one of my favorites. I'll probably actually make a raw cheese during one of the classes, but I would try Daiya or Go Veggie, like if you want to make some type of vegan pizza. Try those and see if you like those brands. Milk, some milk alternatives would be almond milk is my favorite. Then you have coconut milk, which tastes okay, not bad at all. Hemp milk is not my favorite, but it's a good alternative. I don't like the taste of it. And then rice milk is pretty good as well. So rice, hemp, coconut, or almond milk are all good substitutes for milk. Ice cream. So you can either make like raw sorbet or raw ice cream, which I have a ton of them on my website, and I may do one of those live as well. But if you want one that's already prepackaged, So Delicious is a pretty decent brand, which is SODELIC. I probably just spelled that wrong. DELIC. I don't know if I spelled that right, but it's So Delicious, and also Rice Stream. And those are two good ice cream brands that I use. I use So Delicious more than Rice Stream, but they're both really good and they don't have a bunch of chemicals in them. And then meat. I don't like fake meat. I don't know. It's something about the texture of it. I just haven't been able to find any. I found one that's okay, which I'm going to give you. But for the most part, I'm just not a big fake meat fan. But Gardein is pretty good, which is Gardein. If I'm spelling this stuff wrong, y'all, look it up. But I think that's how you spell it. It's Gardein, Gardein. And the chicken tenders are actually really good. They have a really good texture. You know what? I have a pack of them in my freezer. I should bring it over here. It's not open though, because I'll eat them just every so often. Like if I really feel like eating something cooked. But I would say, especially for ladies, you don't want to eat a ton of soy-based products or food. And so most fake meats, tofu, all that is soy-based. So I try to stay away from soy as much as possible. But again, sometimes it's okay to live. And so Gardein is a decent brand. They actually have a fish that they make that actually tastes pretty close to fish. I don't know how they did that, but yeah, if you're looking for a meat substitute, like if you don't want to eat meat anymore, then try Gardein. I think you will be very pleased with it. I actually was. I just decided not to consume it too much. So I'm going to answer your questions because you all sent me a ton. And after that, we'll make the food. So the reason, sometimes I may make the food before the questions, but the reason why I'm not going to make this one beforehand is because I'm making a soup. And we're going to use the Vitamix to actually warm the soup. And I don't want to eat a cold soup. So I'm going to make the food last. So I'm going to get to your questions really quick. And thank you all so much. You've literally sent me so many questions. So you got me on my toes. Let me see. Got to pull up the phone. All right. Okay. So the first question you know what? Before I get to the questions, one more thing. Eating by the color is super important. I'm trying to remember everything, but eating by the color is very important. So like eating red foods that's rich in the red pigment, really good. It's filled with this antioxidant called lycopene. Amazing. It literally fights cancer growth. So eat tomatoes and strawberries, as much red as you can get inside your body. Eat it. Green foods are amazing. So your dark leafy greens, your kale, your broccoli, your spinach, your watercress, your Swiss chard, they're going to be filled with chlorophyll, which I told you earlier is the blood pigment of a plant, which is going to go into your body and go into your blood and filter and cleanse your blood. White foods, so your onions, your garlic, extremely amazing for boosting your immune system, extremely amazing for fighting off parasites, illnesses, all that stuff. So you want to eat by the color. I actually put a more detailed list in the grocery guide that I'm going to send you, but I just wanted to go over it a little bit during the class. Okay, so now let's get to the questions. Okay, so the first question is, what are some foods to help target belly fat? So first and foremost, of course, you're going to want to work out, and apples are packed with fiber. So any food that has a lot of fiber, you want to eat that because that's going to help you to not get hungry as fast. It literally fills you up. So it's going to help you to avoid overeating or eating when you're not even really hungry, but you just want to snack on something. So almonds are another one that's really good and high in fiber. That's going to be a good one. Avocados are great. Well, avocados has great natural fats that you want to eat. And plus it's filled with fiber. So it's going to help you not get hungry as fast. And then dark leafy greens in general, low calorie intake, but it helps you stay full longer. So I would snack on some greens as much as possible. Cucumbers are great, filled with water. They're like 40 calories or something. So eat things that's like low in calories, but also has a high fiber content. What are some tips for eating healthy on a budget? So I kind of discussed that one, but again, just couponing. I should have my sister on this for couponing. She's like a couponing queen, way better than me. I mean, she saves so much money on couponing. One day I'll have to see if I can get it to where she can be on here too, give you all some coupon pointers. But couponing, calling around, shopping around. Yes, you're going to have to go to like 3-4 different stores, but hey, it's so worth it. Shopping online and making your own, growing your own, those are all ways that I save so much money. Hey, and if you have to cut out getting your nails done for a month, do so. What are some of your suggestions for foods that help boost your metabolism? So exercise and sleep are going to be crucial for all that type of stuff. You want to make sure that you're getting ample amounts of sleep. You cannot sleep 2 hours and go run around and think that your body is going to function properly. You have to sleep and you have to make sure you're exercising. Hot peppers, so habanero peppers, jalapeno peppers, cayenne peppers, they help in general with circulation. So they're going to be great for boosting your metabolism. Citrus fruits, so grapefruits, mangoes, oranges, anything like that is going to help to boost your metabolism. Also garlic, cinnamon, ginger, so spices, those are all great for circulation as well. So anything that helps with your circulation is going to help to boost your metabolism. Is there a limit on how often we should try to detox? So I guess that depends on what kind of detox you're saying. If you're just talking about detoxing by doing raw foods, no. I mean, it's raw foods. That's what I mainly eat daily. So, but if you're talking about, let's say like a full body detox from thehealthstore.com, I use him a lot because that's one, I used to work for him. I travel with them. And so I know a lot about his products, and I know that they're completely plant-based and they're all natural. So it's okay to take those. It's not like some drug. It's actually just natural natural dried out plants. So if you're talking about like a full body detox from thehealthstore.com, I would say 4 times a year, seasonally. So spring, summer, fall, winter. But again, you want to listen to your body. If you feel like detoxing 4 times a year is too much, then do it twice a year. Or I would say at least do a detox once a year. It's so important to detox the body. Well, then I was about to answer that, but you just asked me, whoever asked this. It says, what are all the benefits of actually detoxing besides weight loss? So detoxing is very important because it helps to remove poisons from your body. It's going to help to cleanse all of your major organs. Like, we live in a very toxic society. We're breathing in chemicals. We're breathing in harmful poisons. Our food have chemicals on it. They're making our food. We're eating genetically modified food. We don't know what we're eating now. Like, we live in a different kind of society. So when you detox your body and you're putting actual herbs in your body that's like specific for a specific organ, like you're helping to filter and cleanse your blood and remove toxins. So that's the best benefit of detoxing, is literally flooding your body with nutrition and helping to heal it from within. What are some essential kitchen gadgets / tools / appliances that every vegan should have? So I also kind of answered that one. Vitamix, or a blender, a high-speed blender, a juicer, some type of good quality juicer, a dehydrator, a food processor, and then the spiralizer can kind of come later. And of course, a stove, I guess, if you want to like cook. But I would suggest a dehydrator. That way you're making sure that you're eating raw foods. Let me see. Tricks, tips, best practices to keeping your produce fresh and proper cleaning. Okay, so I would say, as far as keeping your produce fresh, I keep my food in the refrigerator. So your food should not last more than, like, for raw foods, 4 or 5 days. If you put kale in a refrigerator, you leave it in there for 3 days, it's withering. It's withering away, kind of like the body. Food should not last for 20 years and you can still eat it. That is not food. Like, what is that? What type of preservative did they put on that food to make it last 10 years and you can take it out of a box and eat it? What are you feeding yourself? That's the type of things that I started thinking of, like, what in the world am I eating? That is ridiculous. So guys, really quick, because it's 6:19. If for some reason this video cuts out because I think I made it an hour, I will set another link and I'll email the link to everybody. So hopefully it won't cut out though. Hopefully it'll let me keep going. Let me see. Oh, and for proper cleaning of fruits and vegetables, I love raw apple cider vinegar, half raw apple cider vinegar and half water. And then I spray it on my produce and I like put it in this bowl and I like swish it around and you'll literally see the dirt and wax and stuff come off of it. So I like the brand Bragg's raw apple cider vinegar, which is Braggs. I hope I'm spelling this stuff right. But I think I am. Anyways, it's called Bragg's raw apple cider vinegar, and I get that off of Vitacost on sale. So Vitacost is like my best friend. That's the best way to clean your fresh fruits and veggies. What would you say to a person that says eating vegan is expensive? Well, I kind of answered that. I mean, eating not vegan is also expensive. You can go to a restaurant literally and get one meal and spend $40. That's a ton of produce, fresh fruits and produce that, you can buy. So I think it's just a mental thing because that's how I used to think like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to accomplish this eating healthy thing. I had to change my mindset and not look at it as money. Like if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So for me, I stopped caring about the money aspect of it. If I can dish out $12 to a fast food restaurant for food that's not food, because it's not really food, I can invest in eating healthy. Let me see. Should you consult a doctor before going to a vegan diet? You guys asked some really good questions. So did I consult with the doctor? No. Personal choice. I listened to my body. I knew when I went to the doctor and I had cysts on my ovaries, the doctor was talking about cutting on my ovaries, and that was a no-go. So for me, I was like, no, I'm going to try to put my body back in balance without letting somebody cut on me. I truly believe that me changing the way that I was eating would put my body back in balance, and that's what it did. Now, should you consult with your doctor? I'm going to have to say, that's a personal choice. If you feel like you should, then mention it to them. But for me, I didn't do it. But I would never tell you to not consult with your doctor. You have to go with what works best for you with things of that nature. What are some great website resources to find out what produce is in season for your area? Google. I use Google like crazy. And then blogs. Read blogs. You can just type in, what produce is in season during the winter. What produce is in season during the spring. So just Google. Google is a great resource for everything. YouTube is also one of my favorites. Should you take supplements when eating vegan? And if so, what do you recommend? So yes, I kind of showed you all some of my supplements. I'll show you a few more that I did not show you. But again, spirulina, moringa leaf. I also take alfalfa. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, most of my products are from dhealthstore.com. This is filled with vitamin K. Chlorophyll is going to be great for your blood, your bones. That's like a little multivitamin that I take. Let me see. So when you become vegan, many times it's hard to find B12, vitamin B12. So this is the supplement I take for my B12. It's from a brand called Deva, DEVA. And then also another source of B12 that's amazing for vegans is nutritional yeast by the brand Bragg's. And I get this from Vitacost.com. So you can make the raw cheese out of this. This actually has a very cheesy type flavor. So say if you feel like the urge to munch on some cheese, use some nutritional yeast. Go on my website and get the raw recipe for it. But nutritional yeast is amazing, especially if you're craving cheese. So I used to be very anemic. I don't think I told you all that. I used to be very anemic. I was extremely cold all the time. So once I started eating healthy, I'm no longer anemic. And it's amazing. I eat a lot of spinach. And then I also take organic iron from dhealthstore.com. And this is not the iron that the doctor gives you. This has, I don't know if you can see it, yellow dock root, burdock root. So it's actually natural plants that have iron in it, crushed up into vegan pills. These are easily to digest. And then I also take this ionic iron from his website as well. Hopefully you all can see that. That's what I take for my vitamins and minerals. And I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I hope I'm not. Okay, let me see. How do you keep your herbs fresh? And is it okay to buy them dried? So again, I keep my herbs fresh by storing them in the refrigerator, and I use everything within a 2 to 3 day span. I try to buy only what I need. I go to the grocery store about 3 to 4 times a week, and I eat what I buy, and then I go back. As far as is it okay to buy them dry? Absolutely. The thing is for me, I think fresh herbs are so much more potent and they taste so much better. So I love the taste of fresh basil. I love the taste of fresh dill. But dried dill, dried basil is still okay. It's just not going to be as potent in taste. So whichever you prefer, you can do both. I definitely do both. I have both in my cabinet. Okay, if you were stranded in a deserted island and half of the island only produced 4 vegetables and the other half 4 fruits, which veggies and fruits would you want those to be? So I would say watermelon, because watermelon is like 96% water. So it would definitely help me to stay hydrated. Mangoes. Mangoes are amazing, amazing source of vitamin C. So my immune system will stay strong. Strawberries filled with antioxidants. Again, that's going to help to keep my immune system super strong. What else? Probably apples. I guess the apple a day keep the doctor away. Filled with antioxidants as well, filled with a ton of vitamins. So those would probably be the 4. And I like all those fruits as well. And vegetables, definitely kale. I am a kale queen. Kale is like the super food vegetable. And then spinach. I would do spinach. Probably broccoli and collard greens. All going to be rich in chlorophyll, so I'll make sure that my blood is super clean. And also I'll be getting a ton of vitamins. I'll be getting protein. I would say those are the 4 fruits and vegetables. Good question. Let me see. Okay. Diets come and go, and we often, I know it's like 6:26, so I'm going to try to get to the rest of these questions really, really fast, and so that I can make the food live. Diets come and go, and we often get excited about a popular one, but drop out of it after a couple of weeks. What 3 factors have been the strongest in keeping you committed to eating raw? So I would have to say, definitely my health. I mean, it's not fun when your digestive system is all over the place. It's not fun when your menstrual cycles are not balanced. So definitely just seeing the change in my diet and how my body naturally balanced itself has been insane. It's amazing. And it's part of the reason why I don't think I could ever go back to eating crazy. Like to see where my body was to where it is now. Definitely my health. Another reason that I would say has helped me stay on the healthy track is being able to encourage people. It's crazy. I am so thankful for this journey, and I'm thankful that I'm helping other people learn to take care of their bodies from within. It's mind-blowing. I'm so thankful for this experience. And I just would say, I mean, you only have one body, so it's very important that you take care of your body. You know, don't take your health for granted. Like so many people wish that they could take care of their body now at a young age or whatever age you are. So just don't take your health for granted. Like we've been blessed with a body that functions properly when you take care of it. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and make the raw soup. I was going to make a raw smoothie too. I may make that still. I just want to at least make the raw soup because I don't know if this video is going to cut out. And then I'll get back to the questions afterwards. So I'm going to scoot this chair out the way and get the blender on the table. So give me 1 second. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit as well so that you all can see. So we will be using a Vitamix blender. I'm dropping stuff. So this is how the Vitamix looks. Hopefully you all can see it okay. It's getting a little dark outside. But this recipe, we're going to make a raw tomato basil soup. So it's going to not only taste really good, but it's going to be so good for you. And that's what you want to eat. You want to eat raw foods that not only taste good, but that are good for you. So as I said, tomatoes, they're red. They have that red color. So they're going to be filled with lycopene, antioxidant that helps to fight cancer growth. We're going to use 2 Hopefully you all can see this. 2 Roma tomatoes, they're organic. I got them from Trader Joe's. And I just like to chop them in half to help the blender. You don't have to, but I like to do it. I feel like it helps the blender blend better. We're going to use 1 fresh cup of basil. Hopefully you all can see this okay. I'm trying to lean the camera. And so basil is antiviral, antibacterial. So it's going to help to go into your body and cleanse out anything that's not so good. We're going to use 1/4 cup of cashews. So hopefully y'all can see this. So with any nuts or seeds, I soak these overnight. You want to soak your nuts and seeds overnight. And what that does is it releases the enzyme inhibitor. So it's going to make it much easier for the body to digest. So if you're eating sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, anything like that, you want to make sure that you soak those overnight. We're going to use 2 garlic cloves. Garlic is antifungal. I mean, it goes in your system and it literally will get rid of some stuff. So I'm going to use 2 fresh garlic cloves in here. And again, I'm just chopping it up a little bit. So we're also going to use half of an avocado. So I'm going to open up the avocado really quick. You want to make sure that your avocado is ripe. Perfect avocado. I'm so weird. I do not like brown spots in my avocado. So if this avocado had a bunch of brown spots, I would totally get another one. I don't know. I'm weird. I like it to be fresh and green and bright in color. So the cashews will soak up some of the water while you're soaking those. So you won't need much water for this recipe. That's a little bit of brown stuff in the avocado, which I'm not going to put in here at all. So just half of the avocado gone. Then we're going to add some seasonings. Organic garlic powder. Organic onion powder. I'm almost out of my onion powder. I use it a lot, as you can tell. I'm probably going to sprinkle just a pinch of black pepper in there, just a pinch. We're going to use Himalayan pink sea salt. You can do half a teaspoon of each of these. And if for some reason you don't like, let's say, garlic powder, or you don't like garlic, feel free to substitute. You don't have to put the garlic in there if you don't like it, but I think it adds nice flavor. So I'm actually going to do half of a half teaspoon of Himalayan pink sea salt. So I'm not going to fill this thing all the way up. Just half of it. You can see half of it. So I'm just going to dump that in there. You can play around with seasonings to taste, because what tastes good to me may not taste good to you. So I'm just going to put a half a teaspoon of the onion powder in there, half a teaspoon of the garlic powder in there, and a pinch of pepper, just a pinch. And now say if you wanted a spice to this soup, you could easily put a jalapeno pepper in there, which again, for whoever asked the question about boosting your metabolism, go ahead and add that pepper. That's going to be a great way to boost your metabolism. Then right now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of water. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of water altogether. I like to use alkaline water. Some brands that you can get of alkaline water, you can get it from Whole Foods. Essentia, there's one called Real Water. It's a new one called Eternal. Those are some decent water brands. So I'm going to go ahead and cut on the blender. And if I need to add more water, I absolutely will, but we'll see how this does. And so your blender is naturally going to warm your soup. Of course, you want to keep it raw still, so you're going to touch the outside of the blender, and once you feel it getting warm, your soup is ready, because you don't want it to get hot enough to where it's over 118 degrees, because again, that will kill the nutrients. So we're going to go ahead and cut on the blender, and I'll be right back. Once I plug the blender in, we're going to blend this. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm going to put it on high. So I muted the microphone so that you all didn't have to hear the blender so loud. So depending on the texture that you want for your soup, if you like a more, let's say, thin soup, you can add more water. I personally prefer like a thicker soup, so I'm going to leave it like this. I may add a little water. Let's see. Now, I think that's a good texture. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in a bowl. And I'll show you all after I scoop it in the bowl. But it's amazing that like it's raw, but it's warm. And so it'll give you the feeling of a warm food without actually destroying those enzymes, which are crucial for your digestion. Okay. I'm just chopping a couple tomatoes on top of it. And this soup is actually really good. I made it a couple times before I had the class to make sure that I liked it. So you can just add some fresh tomatoes and some fresh basil on top. And then also, if you like spicy, you can put just some red pepper flakes, a few red pepper flakes on top. And I don't know if you all can see, but it's a raw soup. It is really, really, really good. If you try it, I would love to know your feedback on this. So I really want to make a smoothie, but I would have to wash the blender out. I'm going to get to the rest of your questions, and then we'll see what time it is, and then I may make a smoothie as well. If not, for sure, the next class I will make a smoothie for you all. So I'm going to move this out the way so that I can sit back down. So raw foods are not as hard as people think. Like a lot of people think making raw foods is like this tough thing, and it's really not. It's simple. Most of the things that's on my website, it literally takes, what did that take? 10 minutes, 5 minutes. It usually takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to make the dishes that you see on my website, because I don't want to be in the kitchen for 10 hours. So I try to make things that's very nutritious, healthy, but that doesn't take a whole year to make. Nobody wants to be in the kitchen for a year. I know. Okay, so I'm going to get back to your questions really quick. And then let me see. Okay, so we answered the one about what helps keep you raw. What are the craziest testimonies you've heard from those who have gone raw? Haven't really heard any testimony. Well, I did. This was off of YouTube, so not somebody actually telling me, but somebody went raw. Then they liked raw, and then they decided to become a breatharian, where they don't eat any food. They just breathe air. I don't know, but I can't do that. I need some source of food. But that would be something crazy. So I guess from going raw, they felt so alive, they decided to become a breatharian. So just breathe. I don't know. What does pH balance mean? So pH means potential hydrogen, without being too scientific. Pretty much that's going to be alkaline versus acidic. On the alkaline versus acidic chart, you can pull this up on Google. It's going to go from 0 to 14. 7 is neutral. So you naturally want your blood to be in about a 7.4, because you want your body to be naturally alkaline. Now, if you can get way to the 14, whoa. But if you drop below 7, that's all bad. That's acidic, and that, like disease and stuff, it can't thrive in an oxygenated zone. So the more alkaline your body becomes, the more oxygen you're feeding yourself, and that's where you want to be. So you can also buy some alkaline strips, and you can, in the morning time, when you're about to go to the restroom, you would just urinate on it, and then it will tell you if you're like alkaline or acidic. I used to go crazy with it's one that you can put under your tongue. That's the one that I used to do. I used to go crazy sticking the strips under my tongue. Oh my God, am I alkaline? Am I alkaline? How alkaline am I? But you'll drive yourself crazy. As long as you're eating a bunch of raw foods, you're good. But it's up to you. You can at least try it. I mean, I think it was an interesting experiment for me. What does pomegranate juice do for you? Pomegranates are amazing. They're full of antioxidants, so they're going to help to fight free radicals. They're also amazing for joint health. If you're having any issues with inflammation, they help with inflammation So also, if you consume a lot of dairy products, and let's say you have arthritis, vaginitis, hepatitis, anything like the itises, that's mainly dealing with like inflammation, which is caused a lot by dairy products. So if you consume a lot of dairy and you're dealing with some type of itis, I would get rid of the dairy and see if that takes it away. What's the best way to fight off disease? So detoxing, like doing a full body detox, and then eating plant-based as much as possible. If you're fighting a disease, again, I would do 80% raw, 20% acidic. Now, if you can go 100% raw, that's going to be like by far the best. That's what I was saying with the Norwalk. I think it's called the Gerson Project or the Gerson Theory, where cancer patients, they literally would drink 13 fresh juice, the most potent, nutritious juice per day. And they were able to literally fight cancer off. So do some research on that, but that's going to be the best way to fight disease naturally without having to take antibiotics or medicine. Would be literally to consume as many fresh fruits and vegetables, just go crazy. Let me see. What foods should one eat to keep up her or his sex drive? Okay, so I'm assuming you're saying if you become a vegan or plant-based or a raw foodist. I'm going to make that assumption. If not, email me and tell me. So for men, zinc is extremely important. You actually should take zinc after you have sex. So cashews, pine nuts, anything like that, they contain a lot of zinc. Also, I would say like chili peppers, they help with boosting the sex drive. Blackberries, probably figs, spices, so ginger, things of that nature would help with boosting the sex drive. Okay, why vegan over vegetarian? So being vegan is a personal choice for me. I think that consuming animal-based products, it turns your body acidic. And when your body is in an acidic zone, that is where disease grows. That is where parasites, that is where worms, that is where the stuff that you don't want in your body, it literally thrives. And so that's why I say vegan over vegetarian. But of course, as I said earlier, you have to go with what works best for you at first and then transition slowly into being a vegan or into being a raw foodist. But veganism by far is the best decision I've made. Well, I would say raw foodist is, but so that's why I chose being a vegan over vegetarian. So that is all the questions. I think I answered them all. So I know it's like 6:45, like we are over the time, but hopefully you were able to get a lot of good information. I will send out the grocery guides later tonight. Thank you all so very much for tuning in and for taking this class. I'm so thankful for all of the support. You all have no idea how much you actually help to inspire me and keep me pushing and keep me learning how to do more. I'm like so blessed to be able to help all of you. So thank you again so much for taking the class, and I'll announce for next month's class, I think I'm going to make raw tuna. We'll see. I might change it, but I think I should make raw tuna because it's actually really good and it tastes similar to tuna. So I think that might be what I'll make for the next class, but I'll announce what date that's going to be soon. And if you need any raw recipes in the meantime, go on LaShaunaNicole.com. There's a ton of recipe ebooks and other things on there. If you have any questions, I am definitely here to help you. So feel free to email me at beahealthnut2@yahoo.com or message me on social media. I love to stay connected. My social media name is @LoveShaunaNicole. So anyways, I will be back and very soon. Bye guys.